Hello everyone, this Thierry Sicard tutorial number 3 starts the electromagnetism series, which will cover coil, transformer and eddy currents. In the first one of the series, we will review the key steps which gave the birth of electromagnetism and the solenoid invention by André-Marie Ampère. We must not forget this year 1800. It is the year of the invention of the battery by Alessandro Giuseppe Antonio Anastasio Volta. Luckily, we just kept volt for the voltage unit. This invention is a key milestone to allow to discover the electromagnetism. We must realize the huge impact of this invention because before this date, the electricity was limited to the electrostatic study, charging and discharging capacitor, doing spark, which means just pulsed current. But after this date, with the Volta battery, it was possible for the first time to deliver a DC current for a long time until the battery was completely discharged. Battery ID came from the Galvani experiment on the dead frog legs in 1780, so 20 years earlier the battery invention. Volta was among the first scientists who repeated and checked Galvani experiment. At first he embraced animal electricity theory. However, Volta started to doubt that the conduction were caused by a specific electricity intrinsic to animals' legs or other body part. Volta was thinking that it depends on different type of metal. The battle to see which one will be right between Galvani and Volta theory lasted several years, until Volta did the first battery. In fact, the main target of Volta was to do a battery to demonstrate that no animal was needed to produce electricity. So he took two different metals, zinc and copper, with a cardboard soaked in salt water. The target of the salt water was to replace the animal physiological serum. Doing this, Volta demonstrated that electricity could be created without animals. The battle between Galvani and Volta theory was over. Volta theory was right, and that's how the battery was created. We just to note the beauty of the nature, because if the battery works, it is only because some atoms, as zinc, allows to give 2 electrons, while copper allows to get those 2 electrons. Now, put yourself in 1800 and ask you the question, what can you supply with your new battery? Of course, no smartphone, no lamp, no PC, so almost nothing except different resistive loads. An example of battery usage in 1800 is the water electrolysis done by two English chemists the May 2nd, 1800, just 2 months later the battery invention. The battery load in this case was the water. Other people were connecting to the battery different type of metal wire and they observed that the wire was heating. That's exactly what Hans Christian Ørsted was doing in 1820 in the Copenhagen University. Ørsted, with those students in the Copenhagen University, was using the battery invented by Volta 20 years earlier. As they connect resistive load to the battery, in fact it was different type of metal wire, they were studying the fact that the wire was warming up. Later, it will be known as the Joule effect. At that time, all the scientists had in their laboratory this strange magnetic needle which pointed all the time in the same direction. The magnetism and electricity were two separate fields of study until 1820. I am saying until 1820 because Ørsted, during the experiment, noticed that when the needle was close enough to the wire, the needle was moving when the wire was connected to the battery. For the first time, with this experiment, the two distinct domains of magnetism and electricity will never again be separated, but the two domains joined into one will form electromagnetism. The story says that Ørsted did not say nothing to their students and did again the experiment alone. The experiment was as follows. The magnetic needle was close enough to the wire and parallel to it. When a current was flowing in the wire, means connected to the battery, a DC current flows in the wire and the needle turns of the alpha angle. If the current continues to increase, the needle will be perpendicular to the wire as a maximum angle of 90 degrees. Ørsted works to find a theoretical explanation, but as he could not find explanation after a few months, he published his experiment. Ampere's father is a rich silk merchant from the Lyon area. André-Marie Ampère, born in Lyon on January 20, 1775. He is a mathematician, physicist, chemist, and philosopher. Self-taught, he trains himself freely by drawing from his father's library. Ampère contributed to the development of mathematics in physics. In 1820, Ampère was traveling in France when he saw a presentation of the Ørsted experiment where the magnetic needle was turning with an electric current. The next week, he wrote two papers where he explains the link between the electricity movement and the magnetic action. This is Ampere's law. We have a wire of radius A with a current of intensity I. The circulation of the vector H on a closed circuit, here the perimeter 2 pi r, is equal to the current which crosses the surface delimited by the circulation of this vector. For r greater than a, the vector h is equal to I divided by 2 pi r. So h is proportional to 1 over r. For r smaller than a, h is proportional to r. So dH over dr is equal to the current density in the wire. So Ampere started to work on electromagnetism only at 45 years old. He proposed the modern word as tension and current. He died on June 11, 1836 during the Marseille University visit. Ampere invented the solenoid and he demonstrated that it was equivalent to a permanent magnet with south and north pole. A mnemotechnique allows to find the north and south pole of the solenoid by writing the letter S and N. The ancestor of the capacitor is a Leyden bottle. It was known around 1745 and Franklin used it to store electric charges to demonstrate in 1746 that lighting was an electrical phenomenon. Now, since 1820, a new component is available. It is a solenoid called also coil or inductor. It is noted L. Thank you for your attention. On my next Thierry Sicard tutorial number 4, we will review the inductor main features, this new component invented by Ampere. We will also review analogies between capacitor and inductor. See you soon and stay tuned.